Traders, today we are going to be talking about what I would honestly say is the single best scalping tool for Bitcoin and one of the only ones that is actually going to work. This is 5-minute alpha where I give you what I think are the legit top strategies in less than 5 minutes, or like 5 minutes 30 seconds. Let's go in. So this strategy is going to be using Google Trends to scalp Bitcoin. It works so well. So let's talk about the anatomy of a trend. What tends to happen is when Bitcoin trends up or trends down, you get a spike in searches. What tends to happen is once you get that spike, the very second that searches begin to falter, what you're going to see is that the trend reverses. Case in point. Look here. So this is the daily chart on the Eastern time zone. What do we see? We see a Bitcoin searching peak, very high peak at 100%, 1232, 1240. What do we see here? Complete. Just people are not as interested at 1248. Look at this trend. Would that have been a good time to buy puts or to short Bitcoin on higher leverage? That would have been a phenomenal time. An amazing time to short-term short Bitcoin. If we go very granular to the 1 minute, I can show you, this alpha is crazy to give away. I'll tell you that. Like, look at this. At 1248, when 1242 to 1248, you saw searches begin to fall, and then look at this. Searches continue to fall, and price fell. So how do you actually trade this? Well, if you're in an uptrend environment, what I would essentially interpret is if Google Trends rises, that would make me think that people are excited about the trend and the price will probably go up. However, when Google Trends rises to a peak and then begins to fall, that means a reversal of the uptrend, i.e. price is going to go down. How do we use this right now? If Google Trends was to just shoot up right now, I would expect Bitcoin to probably rise because it would show a sentiment interest. A lot of people want to buy. But the very second that this begins to go down, I would expect Bitcoin to fall. I like this on the daily because it's going to be very reactive. It's going to be very quick when you get your information. But you can use this on other cryptocurrencies as well, of course. I do think that Bitcoin, though, is going to be just much stronger. 7 days gives you data on the hourly, and it's going to show you something kind of similar. You can see that whenever this happens, then it begins to fall. The trend tends to stall out or reverse. October 2nd, the night of October 2nd was back here, and I'll show you guys that. Yeah, so this is a perfect example of sometimes what can happen as well. Google Trends hit a short-term peak, and then what do you see? People not as interested, right? And then price begins to fall, then it begins to do nothing. Then people get interested at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. is a buying signal. That's around here, actually. You can see if I change my cursor. Awesome. 11 a.m., you see a spike in searches showing that a lot of people are interested in Bitcoin. So how do you trade that? Well, if we're already in an overall uptrend and Google searches is on the increase, we probably want to buy and then hold until Google Trends reverses, because once people stop searching, the trend tends to reverse. That is just something that has been happening for years. And you can look back at Google Trends 1-day data to really see this. This is the human hive mind right here, basically showing you how popular something is. Now, we can use it on other coins too, but I am at risk of going over the 5-minute alpha, going past the 5 minutes that I want to do. Look at that. Perfect. Ethereum hit a high here at 1240. Bet you anything, once the searches started to fall for Ethereum, I think you probably know what happened. If I go to ETH USDT, I'll bet you anything about 1240-ish was when we hit a high, and look at that, 1240 right there, the high. What happened? Well, your short signal would be whenever Google Trends begins to falter massively, and 100 to 85 is pretty large. That happened at 1248. Now 1248 was right here. Beautiful time to short. That is Google Trends. Works so well on the 1 day, it's kind of absurd. I'd recommend backtesting this. Try to take screenshots of it every single day and just look at how it operates in both uptrending and downtrending environments. Final thing, in a downtrend, all of this will be reversed. So if Google's Trends begins to pick up and price is going down, it will probably continue to go down. When Google Trends begins to, fall off, i.e. less people are searching Bitcoin, that's when price will likely go up in a downtrend because people aren't as interested, and interest is what fuels trends. Hope this helps. See you guys, and happy trading.